everybody. Welcome to not necessarily the inaugural, but the new setup for Beer and Bad Movies. Pop dog as we start off. It's Joe, sometimes being known as Uday. I never have a secret name because my partners are jerks. But I do have Mr. Dick Sassy with me, as always.
Hello.
Yeah. It's not even your real voice.
It's not, but I'm thinking that maybe, it'll catch on.
Yeah. And Miss Sassy is kind of running around. She's in the bathroom doing God knows what.
Ever since we brought up Encino Man, she's been trying to do her Pauly Shore dress-up thing.
She's, buddy.
Anybody want a beer?
Hey, Miss Sassy, what's wrong with you? I don't know. It's been like this for a while.
The divorce papers are going through after that, by the way.
I knew it.
Mm-hmm. No one Pauly Shore's mean gets away with it.
Pauly Shore's a millionaire, you know that, right?
Yeah, but I think it's because of his parents, to be honest with you.
It is. No,
yeah.
It is.
Yeah. I'm not sure if he is a...
He's the ipso facto manager or owns the Comedy Store, and that thing's been around since like...
Oh, yeah. He took over
60s.
a while ago.
Yeah. I think actually his mom just died, actually.
Ooh.
R.I.P. Minnie. That was her name. Minnie.
Yeah, I remember.
Anyways, so obviously if you couldn't tell, today this is what I call a fine wine episode. Because the movie we're about to talk about is not a bad movie. It just does not age well.
Oof. So isn't that funny? It's the fine wine.
It's fine wine ages well.
That's the opposite. This movie did not age well, unlike a fine wine.
So it's a crappy wine.
Yes,
it's true.
a crappy
so this
wine.
is called a box wine movie.
It's a box wine.
There
fine.
you go, yeah.
Enough for the peanut gallery. Let me have a swig.
Yeah. You know what I hear is people like it when you...
I'm sure.
I love it when you do that for the podcast.
We're talking about Encino Man. So, Sassy, you want to go ahead and give us the plot?
Okay. Brendan Fraser is... he's a fucking cave dweller. And, at the very beginning, there's like a big cataclysmic thing, and they get covered in ice. Him and his wife get covered, and then... Sean Aston and Pauly Shore go dig in a pool, and they find him.
Like you do.
Yeah. Remember we did that back in high school? We were like, what are we going to do for the summer? And we were like, let's go make a pool in your backyard.
Just dig a hole.
Yeah. So that's what they did, and they found a caveman, Brendan Fraser. And, they thawed him out with a heater.
A bunch of heaters.
That's the way I would do it. I would not contact any... establishment and be like, hey, I fucking found a caveman, I want some credit. I wouldn't go to anybody. I would just thaw him with a heater, dress him up, and take him to school.
Very Weekend at Bernie's.
That's true. This plot line is like the same for everything, just dressed up differently.
90s. Mm-hmm. So coincidentally, Brendan Fraser as a caveman is not dead. It's the Captain America Frozen Man time travel thing.
Yeah.
And he wakes up in like 1991, 92, whenever this was.
Like the 80s didn't die just yet.
I know, yeah, exactly. And they decide that, hey, let's enroll him in school and see what happens.
I think it was his dog's ID too. They used his dog's medical records.
That's right, they did.
Yeah.
And of course, they think that like they'll be cool because they're with him, and no, they're still fucking nerds. It's Sean Astin from Lord of the Rings fame.
You know how cool that guy is.
Yeah. And Pauly Shore, who we've been bitch slapping for the last minute now.
Yeah.
And then, and again, this is why I say it's the opposite of a fine wine, is it just didn't age well. It's still a good movie. You can still watch it and be kind of like, this is funny.
Yeah, especially if you watch it with friends and getting drunk.
And that's why we're drinking beer.
Yeah. Of course. Just because even thinking about it makes you want to drink a little. And I'm sure if you were one of them, you'd be drinking a whole lot more.
I remember when I saw this, I actually saw it in the theater at Sterling Cinemas. Now, no one who listens to this are going to know about this theater. No. But in San Bernardino, there used to be like 5 theaters. And then slowly they all died out. Sterling Cinemas was the only one that kind of stayed around. But when I saw it, this was like the shittiest of the shit theater. Oh, yeah. Like it looked like something out of a shit theater of a 70s movie.
Yeah.
Like the wallpapers were falling off.
Yeah.
I remember they had like a Young Guns 2 big stand-up poster. And
Yeah.
It's like Young Guns 2, really?
Yeah, I remember seeing Mouse Hunt there, Batman Forever.
It's all Problem Child.
Oh, was that 1 or 2?
1.
Oh, okay.
And then, and I just remember that I saw all this. This is like, I kind of got tricked. I tricked myself into going to the bathroom.
Just so you can get the hell away from it?
No, like, I remember I saw Dick Tracy there, and my brother, like, took me out of the theater to go to the bathroom, and was like, why are we doing this all? Oh, it's okay to go to the bathroom during the movie. And I was like, oh, okay. So I kind of thought, like, in my OCD head, you have to go to the bathroom during the movie now. That's like the most boring part. And, of course, now I'm like, well, that's stupid.
Yeah.
So I remember seeing this with my brother, and it was,
Your brother was probably just trying to check out some dude's wiener. And he didn't want to he didn't want to leave you alone in the bathroom, the theater, because you were a little kid. Yeah. He was just like, it's cool to go to the bathroom during a movie.
It was weird, and just Encino Man, like, I still watch this movie, and what's funny is there are still quotable lines in this movie. Of course, people, anyone who was born from like 1999 and up would never understand "Wheeze the Juice."
No. In fact, they would look at us and rightfully want to punch us right in the face,
or go weasel. They would never get that. Yeah, they would want to punch.
Oh, especially if you did that, whatever
that weird noise.
Yeah.
How the fuck did he do that?
I don't know. He asked a lot of D to make that fucking sound because I've tried it and I can't. Can you?
No.
Have you tried?
No, it just doesn't. See. To be quite honest, I think that was a fucking added in sound because it just didn't match up with how he moved his voice.
No, yeah, you're right. It didn't. Yeah.
But so. It is movies like this that just make you kind of want to sit back and like turn off your brain and have a beer, which is what we're doing. What's your most memorable scene from this movie?
The most memorable scene would probably be
the one to you.
Probably where they go to the bar and they're like getting drunk, and he's like, the cheese is old and moldy.
Oh yeah, he says the cheese is old and moldy. I have to go to the bathroom in Spanish. To a bunch of Spanish gangsters.
Yeah, yep. And then they think he's so cool for saying that.
And do you remember who those guys were? They had a TV show on Fox 11, well, just Fox, for like 5 seconds, called Culture Clash.
Oh, wow.
And their whole thing was that there were these 3 Hispanic comedians that like did skits together. It did not last, to say the least.
Yeah, it sounds horrible. I mean... I'll look into it, though. I'll check out some of the skits. Yeah.
So the scene you're talking about is when Link, that's the caveman's name is Link.
Oh, yeah, it's Link. Clever name.
Yeah. He'd been playing a video game called Radmobile forever, so now he knows how to drive. He gets in the student car and takes everybody, drives off the campus, and they go to a bar.
And he's a natural, by the way. No crashes.
Yeah. I know.
Except for all the horrible driving and on the sidewalk. And
he can drive on 2 wheels.
2 wheels and... God damn it.
Yeah.
Sorry, God. You don't deserve that. Brendan Fraser. Well, no, he doesn't either. He was molested. That's I feel bad. He was.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, look it up.
I will one day when...
Google it, Bing it, Jeeves it.
Jeeves it? I don't even think that's a thing anymore.
No?
No.
I'll ask Jeeves.
For me, the most memorable parts in this was actually the... when they're actually at his house in the beginning, all of the kind of things that kind of like he just gets like his reactions when like there's the bit where he's gonna smash Sean Astin's head with a skateboard, and then Pauly Shore just blips in with the lighter.
That kind of reminded me. In fact, that whole scene kind of reminds me of they set it up like it was being like Apocalypse Now. Remember he was like all tripping, in that song, and it kind of felt like that, like.
Yeah, and they play all those weird kind of Aborigine. What's that long instrument they play?
Didgeridoo.
Yeah, the didgeridoo type songs playing in the background. I liked. I mean, and then my favorite part. They cleaned them up. They have the cleaning montage. It's
okay. Maybe I didn't put it in fair context either. Like, I need to be fair with Encino Man. Fuck, what am I talking about? Anyways, so we have we have this guy, and then it's kind of like they're trying to mix their romantic love story in there. Okay, that's probably my favorite. That's my favorite scene in the movie. Where Sean Astin's character is looking over at the girl he's got a crush on that he grew up with in class, and he's, like, looking over at her, and then, Dom DeLuise's son's head pops into the thing, and he's all... Shaking his head, no.
Is that Don DeLuise's son?
Yeah, it is. That's in my
He's
opinion.
He's the bully in the movie.
Yeah. And also he was in Wayne's World.
He's in Wayne's World. He was in 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, yeah.
Solar Babies, and...
Nothing else.
No. He was
Ever
also,
again.
Then for a little while there was that show Sequest. I don't know if you remember that. It was like Star Trek, but for the ocean. It was set in the future. It was really dumb. I think it lasted like 4 or 5 seasons, and people liked it.
Yeah, I'm sure he was getting plenty of ladies and coke back in the day.
He was drowning in pussy.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Or D, whatever he's into with the big old floppy wiener.
So no, the very specific part that I'm getting at is that so they've cleaned him up after they have the clean montage, and they're kind of like just talking to him, and he looks like a normal person now. And then there's a bit where they're trying to get him to like say his name and say Sean Astin's character Dave. Say Dave, Weasel. Oh no, he was called Stony.
Oh yeah, Stony. Yeah.
Pauly Shore was called Stony because he was a kind of stoner who we never saw get stoned.
And he did that stupid sound again. He's like, I'm the Weasel. And he did that stupid sound again.
Yeah.
I thought right there Encino Man should have jumped off the fucking bed and ripped him apart.
But he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Instead he was like, oh, Stony.
And
but there's
wheeze the juice.
Yeah, wheeze the juice. That's the line that everyone took from this. But the part I'm getting to is when they're getting him to talk, and all of a sudden you hear the car of his parents come in, and Sean Astin goes, my parents! Stoney goes, your parents! And then Link just goes, ah!
Yeah.
I was like, that was actually good comedic timing. I like that.
Yeah.
So, it really worked for me.
Maybe I'm thinking people just want to... There's some, like, producer out there who wanted to see Brendan Fraser. He wanted a reason to get him in mud. To muddy up his body.
Well, come on. At this point, Brendan Fraser wasn't famous.
Well, he would be because he let someone lather him up in mud.
Uh-huh.
I could be wrong, but let's see. What the hell? I'm trying to think. There's so much more to this movie. So yeah,
there is.
They're like at the end of the movie. Well, I won't get to the end of the movie yet, but there's a love story going on where he has a crush and he's trying to win her over, and he thinks that by digging this fucking pool, that somehow he'll throw a cool kicking party. She'll come over and be like, "Oh, Dave, you're the coolest guy ever. I don't know what I was doing with the other guy who was actually cool." Yeah, like,
like the guy that's the bully. He's really only a bully. He's a very.
Do you blame him? Like, it's insane. Like, he's a fucking caveman. Something's wrong with the picture, and he's the only one calling it out. Like, it's the elephant in the room, and yet the bad guy again is portrayed by the only guy calling it out. Like, the only
thing he does that makes us perceive him as being a real bad guy is where he staples Dave to the prom king cutout, and then pulls the fire alarm. But funny. Like he, in reality, like Dave's trying to muscle in on his woman, who actually doesn't have any desire to be with him.
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, they keep on glorifying these little weirdos and these creeps, and it's like, dude, then go like pursue it, but don't act all weird and I don't know. Whole thing about it. He
is meant to be a bad guy, and he does do some bad things, but it's just again he's a very basic bully in the fact that there's just nothing to him other than you know what? You could like look at this from a more caveman, because it's a caveman territorial way. Because I forget that guy's the bully's character's name. I forget it, but like. Put it this way. All of a sudden, everybody's all hot on Link's dick. Yeah. And this guy doesn't necessarily go up and be like, hey, what the fuck are you guys doing with him? Yeah. However, he does feel threatened because now it's somebody moving on his territory. And he never once is kind of like he never bullies Link. He challenges Link. Remember at the ice rink? Yeah. They go to the cool ice rink, and I'm like, oh, great, an ice rink. That's so much fun. Mm-hmm. But that's where all the cool kids hang out. And Link's just kind of like...
All the badasses, just so you guys know, anybody out there, the real badasses are the people who hang out at the ice skating rink.
Yeah. Even weirdos that like to chill in the corner and throw skateboards at people.
Oh, yeah.
That was just so weird.
Why is there why was there a big arcade in an ice skating rink? Like,
no, to me that's not weird. I mean,
to me it is. Like, you should be here to ice skate. The fuck are you doing with the arcade game?
They have video games at the Stardust. They did have video games at Stardust.
I get that. That's roller whatever the fuck it
is. It's roller skating as opposed to ice skating.
I could see a family of a kid going there and be like, "Mom, I don't want to roller skate and fall again," or some old people being like, "I just want to take my grandkids in a circle," and then there's someone who's like, "I'm tired. I'm gonna go sit and Fucking play video
Sorry,
game or
boss.
some
No,
shit.
it's the same thing, just a different smell. But
I don't. I think you have to have a passion to ice skate, and if not, why are you sitting in a cold room?
I would. It's summer.
Oh,
Take your hit.
I wish.
Miss Sassy just went ahead and gave Mr. Sassy a really disgusting kiss. Well, disgusting from this guy's point of view.
Yeah.
So yeah, like in the movie Link, he becomes popular, but Dave and Stoney not really.
You're right. I'm thinking that if anybody was smart in Hollywood, what they would do is like a part 2 nowadays.
Oh, I would watch that actually.
And if it was well written, it would be like based on the kids. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Who are like,
yeah, and just like so, Dave and Stoney. Well, Stoney doesn't really care about being popular. That's actually kind of like for as stupid as Pauly Shore's character is, he does have a few good points. He's not into this for popularity. He's just into it to be his friend. You know,
yeah, that's true. And then he gets to a point where he's like, I don't even know you anymore, Dave. You just want to hang out with this cool-ass fucking caveman.
Exactly. Yeah, Dave wants to be popular, and Stoney's just like, I don't care about being popular.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of cool, because you see Stoney do all these, like, really goofy things.
And he eats like shit, which is like, what kind of good Coke or... What's he doing to him where his metabolism is going that fast, where he's pounding Cheese Whiz, and he's pounding Slurpees.
Stole your mom's last bagel.
Yeah.
I'm going to add an audio from the movie where, like, you know, I love that line where, you know, they go, so how's your mom? She's really bummed. Can you pass the peas? I love that line.
That is funny. No, that's really funny.
It's like, hey, man, how's your mom? Is she out of that depression? Is she getting out of bed? Oh, no, I don't give a fuck. Can you have some of your
exactly.
food?
Yeah, that way you know the kind of family that Stoney comes from.
Yeah. And then, of course, you know, he goes and, he's all like, I can't wait till I can marry your daughter.
Oh, yeah. She's all really young.
She's like 14 or something, and she's kind of like, don't fucking touch me.
Yeah. God damn it. Good old-fashioned Hollywood.
No, don't go into that. Because that one joke about him marrying the daughter, man, I gotta remember, he's supposed to be like 17, she's supposed to be like 14.
Yeah,
and there's no
Pauly
like,
Shore was
I'm
like
going
30.
to... Pauly Shore was like 21.
Oh, it was just those good drugs that he does.
He does.
Like, I don't care who you are in Hollywood, there's a certain... Come on, it's that funny-ass Steve Buscemi thing, where it's like, yeah, the joke's funny if you know the person, if you get the person.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like, come on. You know, how's it going? Hip kids or fellow kids? It's like, how many of these fucking guys are 30, 35, and they're trying to play like 20-year-olds and...
that's not really the key. That's not what's happening in this movie, though. I mean, definitely everybody in this movie is probably Sean Astin, Brendan Fraser, and Pauly Shore are probably more than definitely over the age of 18 in this movie.
Yeah.
Pretty much everybody that had more than 2 lines in this movie was more than likely at least 18 to 19, maybe even 20, 21. But I'm not looking at this movie thinking like, oh, everybody's underage.
Oh, yeah. But I definitely always looking at every movie with those suspicious eyes. Like, I don't know who the producer is, where they were.
Producers are always scuzzy.
They're always like, hey, you know, that's what I mean, like the casting couch thing. And I'm like, God damn it, dude. There's something, you know, I'm not going to get into that. Anyways.
So, okay, yeah, like, Link just gets kind of popular across the board with everybody. And it's in a weird manner. Because you know what? Link doesn't fucking talk. Not once. I think he says like maybe 4 or 5 words. He says Dave. He says Stoney. Oh, well, he does have those things where like he quotes Stoney. You know, check out my best. Stuff like that. But like he never. No one ever like asks him a question. No one says like, you know.
No, I remember there was that lady, that one chick. I think she was in the craft, and she was like asking him.
She was in Empire Records, the Craft, Supernova.
Yeah, that's her. Yeah,
End of
she was like hitting on him. Yeah, End of Days, that's her.
And she's like just watching him make these like caveman-esque drawings with mustard and ketchup.
Oh yeah, and she's like totally into like degradation and being humiliated.
Yeah, completely.
And it's like she's like, oh my god, I wish I'd get clunked in the head and drug away.
She says that.
Well, it's like, yeah, there's that thing.
Remember, there's the part where they she goes, he's jive. I'd hit that. And he's all like, yeah, well, he'd clunk you over the head and shit like that. And
yeah, and she's like, oh, I'm into that.
and she's
like,
all, really?
It's fucking gnarly.
Yeah. Aside from her, she's not really in the movie for very long. You know who is in the movie that, like, nobody noticed? Rose McGowan.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. She only has one line.
Oh. She's one of the students in the class, I'm guessing?
She's in when he goes to school for the very first day, and they kind of, Link just kind of pushes through both of them. You know what I'm saying? She just pushes through both of them. Rose McGowan, and this other girl. And Rose McGowan's just kind of like, oh, that's rude. Check out the hunk.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, Rose McGowan, man. Try to help blow the lid off of the whole...
She did her fair share.
Yeah, she did.
She
did. Well,
did
she was saying it for a while, and no one believed her.
Yeah.
You know? By the way, was that movie like a Weinstein... The Encino Man?
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. You know what?
This is the shit we
have the internet.
We have the internet.
Right
So I'm saying,
here.
might as well look it up.
I'm gonna see if I can see who produced it.
Yeah, I mean, these movies are like we can look back at them and be like, oh, okay, see, I can appreciate it not being shit. There's comedy in it. My whole thing is it's so hard to watch movies nowadays because I know of the implications that come with these movies when you watch them. It's like, shit, nowadays it's like, am I watching someone who was being raped, molested? What the hell am I watching?
I know that's kind of how you...
That's how I view it.
Yeah.
Not everyone. A lot of people, I'm not trying to ruin it for anyone else. It's like, look into it if you want. Don't fucking enjoy a movie. In fact, I would encourage people not to look into the shit I'm telling you about. I mean, it ruined my whole, the more you know. Ignorance truly is bliss.
Okay, no Weinsteins produced this movie.
Okay.
We have Hilton A. Green, Michael Rauschenberg, and George Zolom.
No, Rothenberg is, I didn't look into that
Michael
guy.
Rothenberg?
Yeah, I did look into him before. There is some really suspicious shit about him.
He's also produced Silicon Valley, Beverly Hills Ninja, Extract, and some smaller stuff.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Like, you can't be in these industries anymore without being complicit in these things. And I'm glad that at least we're trying to get into these things, make movies to where it's not like that anymore. Or at least by the time they're like have a big splash or an effect, we don't have to worry about that.
I have another pop dog, Steve Weiser, as we call it.
Deborah, give me another Steve Weiser.
I want a Steve Weiser.
She's like, get it yourself.
And then smack.
God damn it, Deborah. And then he dropped the old stunner through a glass table. And I think that would hurt him more than her, actually.
It would hurt them both, yeah.
Yeah.
So there are bits and pieces that I actually I cringe at in this movie. Even though this is not a bad movie, there are some cringeworthy bits.
Oh.
The one that always gets me is after there's a montage of him being cool and every group loves him, and he eats a frog.
Oh god, yeah, I remember that. He bit the fucking what's with that? He bit the head right off that.
He grabs a frog from a tray and then puts it over a flame for a minute, and then but then there's the bit where one of the members of the computer club, caveman in a computer club. Who knew, right?
So easy a caveman can do. Yeah.
That's points right there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drink to you for that one.
Yeah. Yeah, these god damn these movies, man.
Yeah. But no. So then there's that little Asian guy Asian guy in a computer club. Who knew, right?
Not racist at all. That's what I love about the old Hollywood is that you can just do anything like that and get away with it.
So he comes up to Link and he goes, "We took a vote and we decided to make you the president of the computer club." And then the two weirdos that were chilling in the corner of the ice rink that threw the skateboard at Sean Astin.
Mm-hmm. By the way, he did deserve it.
No, he didn't.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Why did he?
Because he's a weirdo, and we already discussed earlier he was trying to move in the other home dude's
But at that very moment, he didn't. Because they didn't know.
But in the general consensus of life...
Okay, I'll give you that. In the karmatic...
But I do see what you're saying. These guys were just being pricks and going out of the way to be pricks.
Yeah.
But yeah, they didn't know that he deserved it.
So they kind of just walk up and they're holding up their pants and whatever. And they're like, computer club. I'm like, this is 1992.
God, that is cringe fucking worthy. God, I forgot about that until you brought that up.
Could you imagine? You're those guys One of them actually still acts like I've seen him everywhere. He was in Breakdown. I don't know his fucking name. I'm not gonna fucking look it up either. He was in Breakdown. He was in Event Horizon. You know what I'm talking about? He was the guy.
Not Sam Neill.
No. He was the guy that went into space.
Oh, yeah. He was also in the Brady Bunch movie. He was.
He was.
I know who you're talking about.
He was the douchebag neighbor.
Yep.
And he was also in Undercover Brother.
I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah.
So now I want you to imagine you're this guy. Now the director or writer or producer comes up to you and says, "Here's the line. You're going to walk up to them, make a little weaselly face,
Yeah.
and go computer, and then you got to walk away."
Do you think he watches that scene nowadays? I bet. I really want to get this dude on. I'm going to look him up. I want to try and get him on the show because, if we can't, God damn it, I don't know how. But, yeah, we'll use the powers of the universe and we'll try and get this guy at least. We can get a few people on the show. And if not, definitely we'll get him on Booze and the Dudes.
Booze and the Dudes.
Somehow, our I don't know, man. Our powers together combined, we get people.
His name is Jack Noiseworthy.
Noiseworthy.
Noseworthy.
Yeah. Well, I think I should.
He was in Alive. I remember that movie. Shit. I'm gonna miss him. He's not dead. I'm just an asshole.
Oh. Well, his career certainly is. I kid because, let's say he does come on and then he wants to listen to this first to see what kind of show it is.
He'll fucking kill you, bro.
Yeah.
End
So
story.
he'll cold cock me.
Cold cock. Yeah. And he was Alive, which was like a big deal movie at the time, was in 1993. And Encino Man was 1992.
Yeah.
He was called Taylor Skater 1. That was his character's name in Encino Man.
What a dick. Whoever named him was a real dick.
I would say so. But the dude's still working. Now, okay, I'm going to move on from this because I want to talk about one more thing, and then I got something else to tell you about. So, here's the third act of the movie. They all, after the driving test thing, they go to that bar that we had talked about, and they're drinking, they're hanging out with the Culture Clash characters, and then the police come and arrest them for what? I don't know, but they get arrested. And Dave, Sean Astin's character, spends his one phone call on asking
1-900 number.
Robin, who was the girl he's in love with.
Yeah.
And she's the love interest throughout the movie. He calls her to say, "Can I take
He
you
just
to prom?"
starts like beating off to her voice.
Yeah.
She's like,
"Hi."
Yeah. Oh, she's like, who is this? Oh, yeah. She waited and heard the whole thing and then asked, who is this?
So he calls Robin. This is Robin. This is my only phone call. I want to use it to ask you to the prom. And she says, "No! Fuck you, Dave!
You're not cool.
Yeah, you're not cool. That's really what's going on." She's just like, "No, I
want
want
to finish that pull, you fucking dick."
Yeah. So she finished the pull. So she says, "I want to go with Link." And Dave's heartbroken. And then she's like, we'll go as a group.
And then he starts like masturbating really sad and it's bad. I know. But
let's finish up now.
God damn it.
He just hangs up. Link ends up, he tries to get rid of Link for a second, but Stoney won't let him. It's like, one of the few words that Link does say is, "We're family." And they all hug and like whatever. And then they go to the prom. And actually, it's Link and Robin go to the prom, and they become prom king and queen. But the bully guy sneaks in with his pals. Which
AR-15 goes completely off the rails.
Yeah, right. Him and his little minions, which, by the way, remember one of his minions was in Blade, the first Blade. Remember there was the guy who could get his hand chopped off?
Oh, hell yeah, I do remember that dude. Yeah.
I forget his name. He's on Gotham right now as Harvey Bullock.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
So they go in, for some reason he's like, "Something's going on with these people, man. We got to go." So he goes into Dave's room, and he finds the pictures of Link in ice. And it's kind of like, he's a caveman. And then they go to prom, all of them, and it's kind of like, he grabs the mic, "We all deserve to know the truth." And he's a fucking caveman. And everyone's like, okay, and
talk about conspiracy theories. Like, the shit I get nowadays for the shit I say, the people I support. Can you imagine if I were to go and just yell, "Guys, don't!" He's a caveman. People look at me and go, "Okay." They're just ignoring me and go, "I guess Rich has fucking lost it." Like, of all things.
Sassy has lost it.
Fucking caveman. Yeah. Who gives a shit? And furthermore, what do they do? Carbon date this dude?
Don't they make that joke in the movie?
Like, they probably do.
So yeah, like they go to prom, Dave, Stoney, the bullies, and of course Link and Robin are prom king and queen.
Never mind, like, all the fucking things that he might catch. He didn't get any of his shots, immunization records. Are they?
We're not going to go into fucking logic of a movie about a caveman who was asleep for a couple million years.
All I'm saying is a quick good joke would have been that he got chicken pox. No one knew why.
You got your measles? Come on.
Yeah.
That happens. Yeah, whatever. So, and they kind of all beat up the bully. They have a dance sequence for some fucking reason.
A really embarrassing one, too.
Yeah, that was embarrassing.
Yeah.
He's all like, "Come on, watch this. We're going to dance." And, like, nobody wanted to fucking see that.
No.
Then, of course, like he says in the beginning of the movie, he has a big party at his house. Everybody's invited. Mm-hmm. Somehow there's water in the pool.
Yeah, the pool.
Everyone's diving in. Woo, yeah.
It's all muddy and murky and shitty. And as they swim in there, like, more parts of it are just breaking off and chunking off. And
people are trying to get out, but the mud keeps dragging them down.
It's like something out of fucking Poltergeist.
Then all of a sudden, more dead bodies come out. Which does happen.
Oh, it's right.
So,
the very ending.
The very ending of this movie is teased for a sequel. At the very end...
Did we ever get that fucking sequel?
We didn't, but did we need it?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Hey, you better tie this fucking...
tie
this thing together.
No. I'm tying it together. I'm finishing it up. So, Robin comes over and she kisses Dave and they fall in love, even though there's no real reason for it to happen. But all of a sudden, Stoney and Link notice that there are the same kind of mud patterns on the glass that Link left when he got unfrozen.
Like, you know what would have been good writing? I mean, really good writing.
Yeah.
Like, just funny, you know? But if the bully got home and saw the patterns on his window.
Oh.
And then he had his own caveman. And it was the hot cave chick. And he's like, "Fuck you guys, I got my own cool hot."
Yeah. Like he's his next door neighbor.
Yeah.
Because at the very beginning.
Sequel.
Yeah. In the beginning of the movie, it's like there's an earthquake happens and Link he's with his woman.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Trying to invent fire.
Yeah.
And then an earthquake happens, and there's a shot where it's like they both branch out of their arms trying to grasp each other, but of course the collapse happens, and they both get stuck in ice. So yeah, like it could have been like his neighbor, and all of a sudden it's like, moo ha 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 ha. Yeah. I have my own cave pussy.
Yeah, something like that.
Yes. So like Link and Stoney, they
I would have had her fucking him the whole time because she's used to the cave shit, and he's definitely more of your city pussy type guy. Mm-hmm. We saw that by how much fucking hair gel he used.
Yeah.
You know?
He had very big hair. The bully we're talking about.
The bully had big hair.
Sean Astin had kind of big hair too.
Yeah, they all had a nice head of hair.
Yeah. I miss it.
Shout out to your hair.
So at the very end, they see all those mud patterns and they follow it. Instead of following a dirty caveman into his room, they follow a clean cave woman in a hot tub. Where it's like, "Oh, hey, it's you. It's my wife. And remember, I'm Link, the one that I'm a few months older than you now. So whatever." Yeah. And then he jumps in, and they make her
cellular regeneration.
Yeah,
like and
then all of a sudden, she's like, she looks like the female version of Pauly Shore. To be quite honest, like she's got long hair. She's wearing weird hippie clothes. Do you remember how he looked in the movie?
I remember how he had bell bottoms. I just don't remember I don't remember how she looked or how they dressed her up.
She had blonde hair, and she's.
Did they end it with them dressing her up?
Yeah.
That's even creepier that all these dudes dressed as
no. I'm sorry. It wasn't that they ended with her like getting dressed, but it started off where she's in the hot tub, she's all phone. There's bubbles everywhere.
He didn't go to his sister and be like, "Look, we need your help.
No.
We need to dress up this cave
Link
chick."
jumps into the hot tub, and it's you. I miss you. Hi. Oh my god.
So we're relying on Link to dress his wife.
Link and Stony. And then it cuts to, remember how, like, at the end, they cut to Link all dressed up, and he's like, is this what I wear? I guess this is what I wear. And now it's her. She's all, is this what I wear? I guess this is what I wear. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Because they didn't contemplate suicide back then. If they had only known what real shame was, they definitely would have done it. If they had known how they were going to be perceived by the rest of the world at that time, I'm sure that movie, as soon as they dressed him up, he would have went out in public, that Link would have killed himself.
You are really overthinking this.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Like, dude.
You're right. I think this was thought up like two dudes were just eating a burger, and then they're like, I got one for you. Encino Man.
This burger sure is cold. What if it was a caveman?
No, it was a burger laced with Coke. Like, I'm sure of it. I'm giving this thing way too much fucking credit.
You are, and you're overthinking it. I'm going to compare it to this, okay? So when I saw the first Michael Bay Ninja Turtles movie, I fucking hated it. And then I go to see my mom, and she's all, so how was the Ninja Turtles movie? And I fucking lose my shit on her. And then she just goes, she goes, Joe, you're overthinking a movie about teenage mutant ninja turtles. Shut up. And I go, shut up, Mom. So what just fucking say?
Yeah, but at the same time, be like, look, what business does Michael Bay have directing a movie
that doesn't
with
fucking matter. Shut
teenagers or mutants or ninjas or turtles?
Anyways, so like that's what I'm equating it to. It's like you can't overthink Encino Man. You can't overthink Ninja Turtles, even though I fucking hated that last one. So
sounds like you're still overthinking it.
I'm done.
Oh.
Encino Man. What's up?
Yeah. This Encino Man movie is definitely something that could have spawned off, I think, a part 2. That if it was shot right or ended right.
Hold on, start that over.
I really, I'm of the opinion that I think Encino Man could have been, look, it could have, like I suggested, it could have been if they wrote it well, they could have been a really cool part 2. I think it ended weak because, like you said, maybe I'm overthinking it, and I think that it was like a one-shot thing. They're like, look, even if it doesn't get a good or well, big reception type thing, I think in the end that we'll have one movie, a good summer movie for the family to watch.
You're really rambling.
This is fucking Encino Man here. So you got to think about it. Why else would they open it for a part 2 unless some executive or oil tycoon was like, well, I produced this movie. I possibly want a part 2 out of it. You get this from everything. You get it from RoboCop, Terminator, anything. So what they do is they do this one movie that could be fun or not. And they hope that at the end, you got to think, this is like an idea that comes up by one person. Usually 1 or 2 people come up with an idea, and it gets chopped to pieces. Back then, by like 5 or 6 people. Nowadays, those movies get chopped up by 13 or 14 people. So, long story short, what I'm saying is Encino Man...
Too late.
Fuck you. Encino Man, nowadays... I'm not... Okay, look. Encino Man, if someone really wanted to, they could do a really funny... Like, what do they call them when you don't redo a movie, but it's a new imagining?
Reboot.
A reboot. What the fuck do you want to call it? Do a reboot of Encino Man. We could write it. It'd be hilarious. But there's someone out there, I'm sure, with the comedy chops who can rewrite it. I just don't want to see it fall into someone, like, some shitty hands.
No, you know what? I think this movie's good as it is. I agree. I don't look at this movie and think there should be a sequel, even though they hinted at one. But to me, here's the thing, is that there's a lot of movies that hint at sequels, but they don't necessarily actually hint at sequels. They never say... We'll get them, and then it says to be continued, like with Back to the Future 2. But you know what it is in this movie, I don't see a sequel. I see that there was a more story that goes on that's in your head. When you saw the female Link, whatever. Okay. Oh, they moved on.
That's what I mean. I was going to equate that to nowadays and be like, an example of how SJW everything's gotten nowadays, how everyone gets so sensitive about fucking everything you say. Is if we were to redo Encino Man, or just, let's say we never even fucking saw Encino Man. Let's say it was released nowadays. If you were to release Encino Man nowadays, on sheer principle alone and the Me Too movement, they would quickly be working on a part 2 of Encino Man to make sure that the women are happy, or whoever this fake genre of people are who demand
in other words,
to see...
to continue the story, they would have made this like a sequel.
Yeah, and to please and to shut people up, you know, who are like, well, we never saw the part 2 when the one with the woman, they would do that. And it's like, no matter how bad of a movie it is, Oceans, the new Oceans is a good example where some people really like it and most really hate it. And I do not, I really couldn't imagine... I don't know, man. I don't know. I haven't seen the Ocean movie, but I don't think that there ever will be a sequel to Encino Man. I mean, the damn thing's near 30 years old. You hold your tongue.
There might be a remake one day.
That's what I'm saying. I would do definitely not a part 2, but there might be a reboot.
Yeah.
And honestly, Hollywood has got no creative fucking bones in their body. They're scraping for anything. Kevin Smith had a heart attack. You think he gives a shit? No. These guys are hard up for creative material. So,
you know, fast forward into the present / future or past, whatever you want to fucking say it. So now this is 2018, almost 30 years since Encino Man came out. So Sean Astin is still kind of respected. Like, he's still kind of got a name in Hollywood. He was just in Stranger Things, and
yeah, but I got dirt on that guy. And for the sake of this podcast, I'm not gonna shit on him right now. But in my other one, I'm definitely gonna
talk about whatever. I wanted to bring up some points.
Go ahead. Let me not change the subject.
Yeah, okay. So Sean Astin is, you know, he's doing pretty good as far as acting wise, and of course, you know who his mother and father were.
Yeah, Helen Keller.
Yes, Patty Duke.
Well, you know what I mean. Patty Duke played Helen Keller.
Yeah,
anyways.
Yeah. Sean Astin is actually Hollywood royalty, they say.
Yeah. You know, but funny joke. Never mind. I thought it was funny. During the elections, I was like, I said it to Sean Astin. I was like, hey man, if you're gonna vote for Hillary, you got to be blind, deaf, and dumb. And I don't think anybody caught the Helen Keller reference.
Are you proud of yourself?
I really am. I don't know why. I know some people. Come on, it's pretty goddamn strong if you know the movie reference. If you're a movie buff out there and you're listening to this, come on, that was a good one.
Anyways, so his father was the original Gomez Addams on the Addams Family. He was in a couple of movies. I remember he was in Teen Wolf 2 and House Party 2.
And Frighteners.
That's right. So for those of you who know who that is, good on you. So, like, he still has a pretty good career. He's kind of wind down as far as, like, being anything mainstream since Lord of the Rings. He also was in Goonies. Other things that people might remember him from is a Whitewater Summer, which I don't know if anybody ever remembers that, the Kevin Bacon movie.
Most people would probably remember him from, like, Goonies and Rudy and...
Rudy, that's right, Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, Samwise,
Yeah, he was also in The Strain for 2 seasons.
Yeah. Which
is a really good show. Now, Pauly Shore... if you've ever listened to the Joe Rogan podcast, Pauly Shore is a bit bitter. Have you heard?
No, but I can imagine.
I was listening to an episode where it had Pauly Shore on, and he was trying to find like a creative, artsy way of basically saying why he misses being in the main spotlight.
He was in Biodome. If I was Pauly Shore,
Biodome's awesome.
I would be fucking happy. I'd look back and go, "Did you guys ever see Biodome?" Like, no.
Yeah, but
that was me.
You gotta also remember, he was also in The Army Now, which flopped. He was also in Jury Duty, which flopped.
People are gonna hate me for saying this, but there are so many funny scenes in all those movies you just mentioned.
There is. There are always good. There's always, even in a bad movie, there are some good moments.
Thank you. There's always a little diamond in the rough.
So, but Pauly Shore really has no place to bitch because he's still kind of like this cultural relic. Because I still see him in random things.
Yeah.
I still see him he was just in that show, Alone Together, which is a really... It's a funny kind of millennial
I know what you're talking
comedy.
about.
Yeah. And then, but now I want to move on just for a second. Brendan Fraser. Oh my God, that poor man has dropped off the face of the earth.
Well, that's what I mean. That's a political thing. It's political.
Mm-hmm.
It's because he doesn't have that clout or power that Pauly Shore has. But Brendan Fraser is a good actor. I don't care what anybody fucking says.
I wouldn't say that Pauly Shore has clout or power. He does.
He completely has power.
He has memory and he has money.
His family has big pull in comedy.
Yeah.
And when you need in anything, your name is what you are. So Pauly Shore is connected to the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
So the Comedy Store has so much fucking pull and power just throughout the years.
Yeah. Any
comedian who wants to use that, if I wanted to use like on my resume, I'd be like, oh well, I performed at the Comedy Store. If you don't ask me, go. If you guys don't believe me, go and check. People be like, oh shit, he was at the Comedy Store. That right there could get you a part somewhere.
All right. So, but the reason I'm bringing up Brendan Fraser, kind of going off the rails. In the mainstream, this is the main story. So, Brendan Fraser, for quite a while, was actually kind of like the it guy. I mean, he did just a handful of movies that people love. Like, the remake of Bedazzled was okay. They loved the Mummy movies. He did the Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Yep, yeah.
Stuff like that, which really got him attention.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is the story that, like, everyone says, like, well, this is where it was the end of Brendan Fraser, for Brendan Fraser. Is that he was at an awards ceremony and he gave such an awkward, reaction to a joke.
That's what they say, yeah, but
we're not gonna fucking go there.
Okay, but then what I'm saying is,
so we do go there. Okay.
No, I'm not going anywhere. What I'm saying is, if we're gonna say why Brendan Fraser, it's really an awkward clap or a laugh. It's not why you blackball someone. Why you blackball someone is they go Weinstein on you. Or they go fucking Tiger versus Siegfried on you.
Well, I wasn't done. I wasn't done.
I'm just, for the record, I really like Brendan Fraser's acting.
I do too. Well,
I like him as a person. And I happen to know a lot of dirt about a lot of producers because I'm into movies. And I'll tell you that Brendan Fraser
there have been some stories about...
He's been sold down the river by everyone.
There's been some stories where basically he kind of worked against some people and it didn't work out in his favor. So if you were to see Brendan Fraser now, this is where I get kind of annoyed, is that Brendan Fraser after the Mummy movies basically just kind of went nowhere. If you go to his IMDb page, there are a handful of movies that he did nobody's fucking seen.
We saw G.I. Joe. All right, I'm gonna go to hell. Sorry,
that was a good one.
Brendan, if you're listening,
Brendan.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I love you, baby.
Yeah. I'm sorry,
but yeah. So, okay, here's the deal. He pissed off somebody in Hollywood, and he's just kind of no more in mainstream movies. He was in a movie that I saw called Hairbrained.
I saw that, and I didn't love it. I think it was you or Brian that told me to watch it. Maybe Jesse.
It was probably me.
But someone had it on and gave it to me as a download. I was like, what the fuck am I watching? And you were like, where was you? Like, oh, this is Hairbrained. It was like that and some other movie you would show me. It was 2 weird movies back to back. Another one was this guy. I don't fucking know it. Anyways. But it was this dude brought back. It was fucking Frankenhooker.
I brought you that.
You brought me both of those. I'm like, where are these weird movies? Oh god. Yeah, anyways.
I'm gonna quickly explain what Hairbrained is and why it kind of disappointed me to where I'm like, okay, Brendan Fraser, you have a problem.
Not monkey. Yeah, not Monkey Bones.
Yeah, Monkey Bones. Oy vey.
Sorry, Brendan. Just bring up his movies and apologize.
I know, right? Just go down to IMDb list. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
But Hairbrained is this really dumb movie that I can't believe it got made. Or I'm sorry, I can't believe Brendan Fraser was in it. It's about this young preteen kid whose dream is to go to Harvard, and he's a genius. He's 12, 13. And he wants to go to Harvard, but Harvard won't have him, so he goes to this
Why would they?
Yeah. Goes to this local college where 40-something-year-old Brendan Fraser is a college student who's his dorm roommate.
Yeah.
And there's no reason
Not creepy at all.
There's no reason for Brendan Fraser to be he's there. Okay, no, sorry. The character's there for school. But why does it have to be a 40-something-year-old Brendan Fraser?
And who the fuck wrote this movie where he's it would be a good premise for a movie? This.
Yeah. So the whole thing is that the main character is on the decathlon team at this local college, and because Harvard fucked him over, he's like, I want to beat Harvard. And Brendan Fraser is their mascot or something. He's like, come on, yeah, we're kicking butt, guys. And then all of a sudden his daughter's like, hey, Dad, I need money. Okay, I'm going to make my team, who I know can win, who I have complete confidence is going to win, I'm going to make them throw the match.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because he loves his daughter.
Because he loves his daughter. So
all
just like
for love.
So Brendan Fraser, who was just like as a kid, was like everywhere for me, and he was so cool. Did you ever see fucking School Ties?
God damn it, I did, and for the life of me, I can remember bits and pieces.
School Ties is where he plays a Jew who's drafted onto a Christian prep team or Catholic prep team.
Okay.
To be a quarterback, and then they find out that he's Jewish, and like they just they fucking treat him like shit. First they were like they love him, he's nice. Yeah. And then, oh yeah, he's Jew. Oh fuck that guy. It's a really good movie.
Yeah, I do remember.
It's got a young Matt Damon, Ben Affleck.
Yeah. I remember in school they showed me I was into sports in school, so they forced me to watch that and Hoosiers and all these fucking movies that had to do with sports, Rudy, all these movies that were like, don't be a loser.
I'm taking these last two. If Kayla wants this last one, she can have it. Or you can have it. Anyways, so that's it.
Definitely leave that in the podcast.
I will. So that's it for just Sassy, would you recommend Encino Man?
For anybody who has never seen Encino Man, I would definitely say see it, but not unless you are drunk, high, cross-faded, or hell, if you're just a really happy, normal fucking person, go see Encino Man if you want to be happy. If you want to see something ridiculous and who gives a shit.
This is a piece of Americana in the early 1990s.
Yeah.
I recommend it.
If a comet or a meteor was headed towards Earth the size of Texas, I would advise seeing Encino Man first, and then
Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're out.
Yeah.
Cheers.